Let's talk about time. Are you truly living? How much is your time worth to you? Think about it. How many times have you gone to bed wondering where the day went? How many moments have passed without truly cherishing them? When you look back on your life, do you see precious time wasted or moments that have truly shaped you? The truth is, every single moment we have is precious. It's the one thing in life that we can never get back. Once it's gone, it's gone. We only have 24 hours a day, and the way we choose to spend each second makes a significant difference in shaping our lives. The decisions we make about how we use our time not only determine the outcome of our day, but they also influence the course of our future. So, have you truly been living? Or have you let time slip by without giving it much thought? Are you constantly comparing your life to others? If you find yourself endlessly scrolling through social media or measuring your worth against someone else's achievements, you're not alone. It's easy to fall into the trap of comparison in a world that constantly pushes us to keep up with others. But here's the thing. When you compare your life to someone else's, you're not truly living for yourself. You're living for the expectations set by others. You're giving up your power to external standards that don't define your true worth. Think about the time you've spent worrying about what others think of you or what they're doing. Time you could have spent focusing on your own growth. Every minute spent comparing your journey with theirs is a minute taken away from your own path. And once it's gone, you can't get it back. The power you hold, inside and out. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." What does that mean? Simply put, we can't control the world around us. We can't control other people's actions, their successes, or their failures. But we can control how we react to them. We have the ability to shape our own mindset and how we choose to navigate through life. In a world full of distractions and noise, the power lies within us. Instead of worrying about what others are doing or what circumstances are beyond our control, we can focus on what we can change, ourselves. By focusing on the things we can control, we unlock a world of strength, peace, and fulfillment. Imagine how much more at peace you would feel if you stopped worrying about the uncontrollable elements of life and redirected that energy into something meaningful, your own growth. So, why waste time worrying about things you can't change when you can begin building the life you want right now, starting from within? The world is full of challenges, but by focusing inward, you can create a foundation that allows you to rise above them. Now that we've reflected on the importance of time and the power of focusing inward, let's dive into 6 Stoic principles that will help you stop wasting time on things that don't matter and start focusing on your own self-growth. Are you ready to take control of your time and your life? Leave a comment below with the phrase, "I focus on myself and stop wasting my time," and get ready to change the way you see your life. Let's explore principle number 1, the dangers of comparison. In today's society, it's almost impossible not to be bombarded by images of success, beauty, wealth, and achievement. From social media influencers to celebrity lifestyles, we are constantly presented with perfect portrayals of life. The problem with this is that it feeds into the never-ending cycle of comparison. We look at someone else's highlight reel and think, "Why isn't my life like that?" But here's the problem. The danger of comparison is that it can completely derail your focus. Every moment spent comparing yourself to someone else is a moment you take away from investing in your own growth. When we focus on someone else's journey, we forget about our own potential. Instead of focusing on where we are, where we want to go, and what we can do to improve, we shift our attention to someone else's narrative. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher, wisely said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This quote is a powerful reminder that we should stop measuring ourselves by the standards set by others. It's time to stop getting lost in the whirlwind of other people's successes and failures. We need to look inward, measure our progress based on our own potential, and stop letting external standards define who we are. The time we spend comparing our lives to others is the time we lose in our pursuit of personal growth and fulfillment. Imagine this. Every time you look at someone else's achievements and feel that pang of comparison, pause. Take a deep breath. Realize that the only person you should be competing with is the person you were yesterday. By doing so, you reclaim your power, your time, and your focus. Time is limited, but when you use it wisely, by focusing on yourself and your own journey, you'll be amazed at how much more you can achieve. So, the next time you find yourself comparing your life to someone else's, remember this: the only standard that matters is your own. Time is too precious to waste on measuring your life against others. Invest that time in becoming the best version of yourself. Stay tuned for the next principle, and let's dive even deeper into how you can reclaim your time and your life. The journey of self-growth. Focus on your path, not others. As we discussed earlier, comparison is a silent thief. It steals not just your time, but also your energy. But what if we choose to invest that time and energy into something far more valuable, our own development? The journey of self-improvement is not about chasing external symbols of success, such as money, status, or recognition. It's about committing to becoming the best version of yourself. And this is a journey that only you can walk. It's a unique, personal path, and unlike the distorted images of success we often see on social media, true growth comes from continuous improvement and deep self-awareness. The power of self-awareness. It's easy to get distracted by the noise of external comparisons, but the key to real progress is when we stop and listen to our inner voice. Self-awareness is the first step in this process. It's understanding who you truly are, not based on the opinions or standards of others, but on your own insights. Self-awareness is the cornerstone of personal growth. Without it, any efforts at self-improvement will be aimless, because you'll be working without understanding where you truly stand. How can you move forward if you don't know where you're starting? How can you grow if you're not aware of both your strengths and weaknesses? Without this foundational understanding, you'll struggle when challenges arise. The Stoic philosophers taught us that self-knowledge is essential for living an ethical and fulfilling life. Epictetus, a great Stoic thinker, reminded us, know first who you are and then adorn yourself accordingly. This is the truth. Without self-awareness, you're wandering in the dark. But once you understand yourself, you can then begin to adorn your life with the steps needed to grow. Setting clear, achievable goals. Once you gain self-awareness, the next step is setting clear and achievable goals. These goals should be realistic and in alignment with your potential. The journey of self-improvement is not about trying to conquer everything all at once. It's about making consistent progress, one step at a time. By breaking down your journey into small, achievable goals, you create momentum that will carry you forward. Imagine it like climbing a mountain. Each small step brings you closer to the summit, and each victory, no matter how small, motivates you to keep going. One inspiring example of this is Oprah Winfrey's journey. When Oprah started her television career in the 1980s, she was far from the household name she is today. In fact, she faced many challenges: rejections, ridicule, and contempt from people in the industry. But instead of looking at her colleagues or other shows for comparison, Oprah chose to focus on her own uniqueness. She crafted a distinct style, continually improving her communication skills, connecting with her audience, and creating a television show that offered more than just entertainment. It provided profound value to its viewers. Through her dedication and vision, Oprah transformed The Oprah Winfrey Show into one of the most successful programs in television history, forever changing the landscape of talk shows worldwide. Oprah's journey is a perfect example of the power of focusing on yourself. She didn't let the distractions of comparison with others define her path. When you set goals for yourself, whether in your career or personal life, remember, every small victory adds to your confidence and fuels your motivation to keep moving forward. Over time, these accumulated successes will lead to steady progress, and each time you achieve something, even a small goal, you reinforce your belief in your abilities. This is the power of self-confidence and independence. The power of self-confidence. As you continue on your path of self-improvement, you will naturally find that you no longer feel the need to compare yourself to others. The more you focus on your own growth and development, the less you will be drawn to measure yourself against other people's successes or failures. But the dangers of comparison don't stop at simply distracting us from our goals. Constantly measuring ourselves against others can slowly lead to feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. It can rob us of our sense of purpose and drain our motivation. So, it's crucial to understand that focusing on your personal journey without comparing it to others not only accelerates your growth, but also strengthens your mental resilience. Embrace your journey. Progress over perfection. As we talked about earlier, when we stop comparing ourselves to others, we regain control of our emotions and self-esteem. By choosing to focus on our own path, we shift our mindset from seeking validation outside ourselves to nurturing the confidence that comes from within. The real reward isn't surpassing others, it's becoming the best version of yourself. So, I ask you, how much time have you wasted today by comparing your progress to others? How many moments have you spent wishing for something different in your life instead of embracing the opportunities before you? Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, taught us that the key to living a fulfilling life isn't chasing someone else's ideals, but instead developing our own character. It's time to stop comparing, stop wasting precious moments, and focus on the most important project, yourself. Principle number 2, embracing progress over perfection. We've all been there, searching for the perfect version of ourselves, our work, or our life. But here's the catch. Striving for perfection is not only unrealistic, it also creates invisible pressure that holds us back. Stoic philosophy, with Marcus Aurelius as one of its leading figures, emphasizes that progress, not perfection, is the true key to inner peace and long-term success. When we accept that life is a continuous journey, full of imperfections, we can free ourselves from the trap of unattainable perfection. Progress, even if slow, is where true strength lies. Instead of obsessing over achieving perfection in every aspect of our lives, we learn to embrace gradual growth, and we find power in each small step forward, confronting negativity. The first step toward meaningful progress is confronting negativity, whether it's coming from external sources or from within. Life and work environments are often filled with challenges, unsatisfied colleagues, unaddressed issues, and unexpected obstacles. Instead of letting these negative forces take over your mind, you can learn to detach from them. Imagine this. You're in a meeting and someone criticizes your work. You feel the tension rising, the anger starting to boil up inside you. But here's where your strength comes into play. Rather than reacting with frustration or insecurity, try staying silent. Focus on the positive aspects of the situation. This silence is not weakness. On the contrary, it's a sign of inner strength. When you don't react to negativity, you're in control of your emotions and you preserve your self-respect. But it's not just the negativity from others that holds us back. We also face the internal battle of negative self-talk. Thoughts like, "I'm not good enough," or "I can't do this," can be some of the greatest obstacles to our progress. However, instead of giving in to these thoughts, we must learn to confront and replace them. The key is to shift your mindset. For instance, when faced with a challenging task, instead of thinking, "I can't do this," try reminding yourself, "I can learn and improve every day." This simple shift in perspective not only boosts your self-confidence, but also helps you gain a more positive outlook on the challenges you face. Letting go of the past. Another essential part of progress is learning to let go of the past. Many of us carry around old wounds and mistakes, heavy burdens that slow us down. But holding on to anger, regret, or past hurts only limits our growth. Forgiveness doesn't mean accepting wrongdoing, but rather freeing ourselves from the emotional weight that keeps us stuck. Letting go of the past creates space for new opportunities and personal growth. Building positive habits for continued growth. Finally, building positive habits is one of the most powerful factors in maintaining progress. Surround yourself with positive people who lift you up. Engage in inspiring activities that align with your goals and values. Over time, these habits will not only help you maintain momentum, but will also contribute to long-term success. Key to success: gratitude, discipline, and rejecting distractions. As we've seen so far, embracing progress over perfection, letting go of negativity, and focusing on your own growth are all powerful steps towards success. But there's one more essential principle that will transform your journey: gratitude. Practice gratitude, even in adversity. In the toughest times, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and let negativity take over. But true growth comes when we learn to be grateful, even in the hardest circumstances. A perfect example of this is J.K. Rowling, the famous author of the Harry Potter series. Before achieving worldwide fame, Rowling faced years of hardship, poverty, unemployment, and constant rejection from publishers. Yet instead of being defeated by these struggles, she maintained a positive attitude and kept writing, believing in herself despite the obstacles. What set Rowling apart was her habit of gratitude. She often spoke about how, even in the darkest moments, she was thankful for the lessons life was teaching her. It was this perseverance combined with gratitude that allowed her to push through and ultimately become one of the best-selling authors in the world. Rowling's journey teaches us a crucial lesson. Gratitude isn't about waiting for things to be perfect. It's about appreciating the opportunities and lessons you receive, no matter how difficult the road may seem. It was her disciplined mindset and positive attitude that helped her transform failure into success. The same principle applies to all of us. To overcome challenges, we must maintain a habit of gratitude, no matter what life throws at us. Personal discipline, the key to achieving progress. Another critical element to achieving progress: imagine for a moment that time is your most precious, irreplaceable resource. How would you treat it? Marcus Aurelius, with his timeless wisdom, might say that every moment we let slip away without purpose is a moment we can never reclaim. Reflecting on how we spend our time encourages us to focus on what truly matters and reject the distractions that prevent us from reaching our potential. In today's world, the distraction overload. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. Social media, endless emails, and the constant pull of entertainment can all steal our time and focus. But Marcus Aurelius understood that to live a purposeful life, we must become strict guardians of our time. By protecting our time, we also attract others who respect and value it just as much. This is a silent yet powerful declaration of self-worth. How to start rejecting distractions. The first step in rejecting distractions is to identify and minimize the sources of distraction in your life. How many times have you found yourself mindlessly scrolling through social media, responding to unnecessary emails, or attending meetings that lead nowhere? These are the time thieves of the modern world. One way to combat this is by setting clear boundaries. Allocate specific times during the day to check your emails or browse social media, and stick to those times. This way, you're not letting these distractions take over your day. It's the same as organizing your work schedule. Purposeful time management is key to protecting your energy and focus. Effective time management doesn't mean filling every moment of your day with tasks. It's about focusing on the quality of what you do. For instance, instead of spending hours aimlessly scrolling through social media, dedicate that time to more productive activities, like reading or working on personal goals. By prioritizing what truly matters, you create space for personal growth, creativity, and success. Success is a journey, not a race. As we wrap up this discussion on gratitude, discipline, and rejecting distractions, remember that success is not a race, it's a journey. Each day is an opportunity to practice gratitude, build discipline, and reclaim your time. So ask yourself, how will you manage your time today to ensure it aligns with your goals and values? Next, we'll explore the final principle of living with intention and how to stay motivated, even when the path ahead seems uncertain. Stay tuned, and let's continue building the life you truly desire. Mastering time, the power of focus and boundaries. As we've discussed, protecting your time and focusing on what truly matters are fundamental steps in the journey to personal growth. Now, let's dive deeper into how you can master the art of time management to support your goals and create lasting success. The power of mental space for deep work. When you're working on a task that requires deep thinking and concentration, it's essential to give yourself the mental space to truly engage with the work, uninterrupted. Stoic philosophy teaches us to value not just the outcomes, but also the process itself. Every moment spent on purposeful work is an investment in your future. By cultivating this mindset, we begin to see that time isn't just a series of hours ticking away. It's the canvas on which we paint the life we desire. The key here is understanding that time is not only for doing, but also for being. By focusing on meaningful tasks, we add depth and richness to our lives. It's about appreciating each moment of effort and recognizing that it all adds up to something greater. Building good habits and creating space for growth. One of the most powerful tools in time management is building reasonable habits and schedules. Just as training strengthens the body, cultivating time management habits fortifies our ability to focus. Start small. Dedicate just 15 minutes a day to an uninterrupted task that aligns with your goals. At first, these moments might feel insignificant, but over time, you'll see them accumulate into a powerful habit that supports your growth and progress in every area of life. Surround yourself with positive influences. As you build these focused habits, remember that your environment plays a huge role in how effectively you use your time. We are deeply influenced by the people we surround ourselves with. If you're constantly surrounded by individuals who distract you or drain your energy, it's time to establish clear boundaries. Stoics like Epictetus emphasize the importance of choosing friends wisely. The people in your life can either propel you forward or hold you back. By learning to say no to relationships that do not contribute to your growth, you free up space for those who uplift and support you. Detach, eliminating negative influences. In the same way, we need to eliminate negative influences, whether they come from others or from within ourselves. Negative energy, whether it's toxic people, a cluttered environment, or self-doubt, can cloud our vision, distract us from our goals, and drain our energy. Identifying and removing sources of negativity is essential for personal growth. When we learn to set boundaries and shield ourselves from negativity, we create a mental space where positive thoughts, ideas, and actions can flourish. But what does this mean in practice? Limiting negative relationships. Sometimes, eliminating negative influences means making tough decisions. It could be a colleague who consistently undermines your efforts, or a friend who brings constant drama into your life. It's important to recognize that your time and energy are too valuable to waste on relationships that do not support your growth. This doesn't mean cutting people off without cause, but rather making deliberate decisions to protect your well-being. It may require having difficult conversations to set clear expectations, or in some cases, distancing yourself from people who consistently drain you. This act of self-preservation is crucial. It's not just about protecting your time, it's about honoring yourself. Protecting your time, the ultimate act of self-respect. Ultimately, protecting your time is the greatest act of self-respect. It is a declaration that you value your potential, your goals, and your future. When you stop letting distractions dictate your life, you begin to take control of your destiny. The teachings of Marcus Aurelius remind us that time is finite and precious. How we spend our time reflects who we are, and more importantly, who we are becoming. By mastering the art of time management, we not only enhance our productivity, but also demonstrate respect for ourselves. As we continue on this journey of self-mastery, the next crucial step is learning to focus on what truly matters. By making choices that align with your deepest values and aspirations, you can begin to take control of your destiny in ways that bring lasting fulfillment. In the next part, we'll explore the value of focusing on yourself and how this practice can be the foundation for a meaningful life. Stay tuned, and let's dive into the next step of the self-mastery journey. The power of focusing on yourself, creating a path to personal growth. As we've explored, reclaiming your time and energy is key to achieving meaningful success. Now, let's take it one step further, focusing on yourself. This is not about selfishness, but about redirecting your energy toward becoming the person you aspire to be, the core of personal development, setting clear goals. At the heart of personal development lies the principle of setting clear goals and treating their pursuit like building muscles through exercise. Imagine an athlete preparing for a major competition. Each training session doesn't just improve their physical strength, it enhances their endurance, hones their skills, and prepares them for bigger challenges. Similarly, when you commit to specific goals and work on them daily, you build resilience and develop the capabilities to take on greater challenges. Let's say you want to learn a new skill, like programming or public speaking. Consistent, focused effort over time can transform what initially seems impossible into reality. However, to truly excel, you must first eliminate what's unnecessary. Just as clearing debris is essential for building a solid foundation, removing distractions, toxic influences, and unnecessary commitments from your life is crucial to ensure you stay focused on what truly matters. Decluttering your life for growth. Consider the story of Jane, a professional balancing a demanding job and personal aspirations. By saying no to endless social obligations and cutting out time-wasting habits like mindlessly browsing the web, Jane found the space to earn a new certification, which eventually led to a promotion. Her story highlights the transformative power of decluttering your life, making space for meaningful growth. This practice of eliminating the unnecessary is an essential pillar of personal development. Cultivating a curious and learning mindset. Another crucial element of growth is maintaining a curious mindset. Continuously learning and staying open to new ideas is vital. Reading books, listening to podcasts, or exploring new concepts keeps your mind sharp and adaptable. For example, a business leader who dedicates daily time to reading about industry trends is constantly learning and refining their knowledge. This continuous learning helps them navigate challenges creatively and stay ahead in a competitive landscape. However, all these efforts would be futile without the backbone of discipline. Discipline is the steady hand that guides you through moments of wavering motivation. Imagine a student preparing for an important exam. On days when enthusiasm fades, their disciplined study habits ensure consistent progress, even without the initial excitement. Discipline and patience, keys to sustained progress. Discipline is not a constraint, it's the key to maintaining momentum, especially when the excitement begins to fade. But even discipline alone isn't enough. Patience is equally important. Growth rarely follows a straight line. Obstacles and delays are inevitable. Instead of yielding to frustration, embrace patience, knowing that it allows you to persist through the valleys. Consider the story of a gardener planting a tree. Despite months of care with no visible growth, they trust the process, knowing that roots must first form before the tree can flourish. To maximize growth, you must also fiercely protect your time. Time is finite and irreplaceable, yet it's often wasted on trivial matters. Imagine treating your time as a form of currency. Would you spend it on tasks and interactions that add no value? A conscious approach to time management ensures that it's wisely invested in activities that align with your priorities. Identifying your true priorities. To do this, start by identifying your true priorities and linking your daily actions to them. For instance, if health is a priority, schedule regular workouts and prepare healthy meals. If relationships matter, dedicate undistracted time to loved ones. These deliberate choices reflect your values and ensure meaningful progress in the areas that matter most. Mastering the art of saying no. An important strategy in protecting your time is mastering the art of saying no. This simple word is a powerful tool for protecting your energy from commitments that detract from your goals. Imagine being asked to take on additional tasks at work that don't align with your aspirations. Politely declining gives you the space to focus on high-impact activities, reinforcing your self-esteem and clarity. Ultimately, the ability to set boundaries is foundational to personal growth. Boundaries create a protected space where you can thrive. For example, consider a freelancer who establishes clear working hours. This boundary not only enhances their productivity, but also protects their personal life. Without boundaries, your energy and focus become subject to external demands, which can quickly drain you. Focusing on yourself, a commitment to your growth. In summary, the value of focusing on yourself is priceless. It requires intentionality, discipline, and courage to prioritize your growth over external distractions. Let this journey be guided by the timeless wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, urging you to transform your potential into reality. Now that we've explored the power of focusing on yourself, the next crucial principle on the journey towards self-mastery is building resilience through self-focus. How can you transition from seeking perfection to embracing progress? Let's dive into the next principle and explore how to stay resilient and focused as you continue to grow. Stay with us for the next part of your transformative journey. embracing step-by-step progress, the power of patience and persistence. As we've discussed, focusing on progress rather than perfection is a powerful tool that fosters resilience and growth. Now, let's dive deeper into how embracing step-by-step progress can shape your personal journey, relieve the pressure of perfection, and ultimately transform your life. Focusing on progress, not perfection. The key to unlocking true growth lies in asking yourself a critical question. Are you striving to meet unattainable standards, or are you committed to improving little by little? Emphasizing progress means acknowledging that small, consistent efforts accumulate into significant change. This approach naturally builds resilience, adaptability, and learning capacity, all of which are crucial for navigating life's challenges. Imagine someone training for a marathon. Instead of fixating on completing the race with a record-breaking time, they celebrate small milestones along the way, running an extra mile, shaving a few seconds off their pace, or simply maintaining their training on tough days. Each step reinforces their strength and boosts their confidence. This isn't just about crossing the finish line, it's about the growth that happens along the journey. When viewed through the lens of progress, failures are no longer ultimate obstacles, but valuable learning opportunities. Stoic philosophy teaches us that failure isn't a source of shame, it's a catalyst for improvement. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of recognizing the practical lessons within our mistakes and setbacks. When we encounter challenges, instead of getting bogged down by them, we ask ourselves, what can I learn from this? How can I adapt? This mindset not only preserves mental energy, but also equips us with the tools to grow and thrive. By focusing on progress, you create a mental framework that allows you to adapt, learn, and continue moving forward, no matter what life throws your way. The power of adaptability and resilience. Focusing on progress also enhances your performance and adaptability. Life is unpredictable, and the safest approach to handling it is often to prioritize the fundamentals rather than clinging to rigid plans or expectations. A mindset centered on progress allows us to recalibrate as circumstances change and challenges arise. They run because they are committed to the process, focused on their personal growth, and determined to finish the race at their own pace. In the same way, when we focus on our own path, we're not chasing someone else's definition of success. We're running our own race, and it's the journey, marked by patience, resilience, and self-discipline, that truly shapes us. Embracing feedback as a tool for growth. Another critical element of resilience through self-focus is the ability to embrace feedback. Rather than viewing feedback as criticism, treat it as a valuable compass to guide you on the path of growth. Imagine a writer sharing their work with a trusted mentor. The initial feedback might point out weaknesses in style or structure, but instead of perceiving it as a personal failure, the writer uses the feedback to refine and improve the work. This willingness to listen to and apply feedback not only fosters unique skills, but also supports continuous improvement. A progress-focused mindset encourages you to accept imperfection as a natural part of growth rather than a hindrance. Often, the fear of making mistakes stifles creativity and limits our potential. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In personal development, perseverance becomes your trusted companion. Building something meaningful, whether it's a new skill, career, or relationship, requires time and consistent effort. Resilience through self-focused work means committing to the process rather than clinging to immediate results. Like a gardener who understands that the seeds they plant today won't bloom tomorrow, they nurture and wait, knowing that growth is happening beneath the surface, finding fulfillment in the journey. This mindset fosters a sense of fulfillment because every stage of progress becomes a joy in itself. The long-term benefits of focusing on the process are immense. By shedding the burden of perfection, we can experience greater joy and satisfaction in the journey. Every step of progress, whether big or small, contributes to a deeper sense of accomplishment. You begin to realize that the true value of your efforts lies not in the final outcome, but in the growth and development you experience along the way. As we move forward in this journey of self-mastery, remember that progress is not always linear, and growth doesn't happen overnight. By embracing patience and focusing on continuous improvement, you'll find resilience, adaptability, and fulfillment in all areas of your life. In the next section, we'll explore how to cultivate even greater resilience and stay motivated as you continue building the life you want. Stay tuned, and let's continue on this transformative path together. The journey of resilience, embracing your own path. As we've seen, resilience through self-focus is not just about overcoming obstacles. It's about embracing every step of the journey. It's about learning to honor yourself, your values, and your personal growth over time. Let's now explore how focusing on your own path can elevate your life and lead to profound fulfillment. Focusing on yourself, a meaningful life. Imagine standing in the middle of a room filled with noise. Everyone around you is talking about success, fame, and distant goals. They're eager to impress each other, discussing their achievements. But in the corner of the room, there's one person who remains silent. He sits quietly, his gaze deep, questioning, is what I'm doing truly important to me, or am I just trying to gain the recognition of others? This is the core lesson that Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor of Rome, emphasized. He was not only a great leader, but someone who understood the power of patience and focusing on what truly matters in the personal journey. When you stop wasting time on things beyond your control, you realize that focusing on yourself is not just a choice, it's a deeply meaningful way of life. Every small decision shapes your future. Every day, you make hundreds of choices, small decisions that, although seemingly insignificant, shape who you are. From how you react to challenges to how you spend your time, each decision is like a brick in the foundation of your future. Marcus Aurelius once wrote in Meditations, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." This reminds you of your power to control your journey. When you focus on your personal path, you're not just living, you're living with purpose. Committing to your dreams is not just an action, it's a quiet declaration that your goals are worth pursuing. Building mental strength, the marathon of life. To pursue your goals with conviction, you need a strong mindset, one that is focused on your core values, not on seeking approval from others. A vivid example of this is the story of a marathon runner. This runner does not race to be the fastest. They run because they are committed to the process, focused on their personal growth, and determined to finish the race at their own pace. In the same way, when we focus on our own path, we're not chasing someone else's definition of success. We're running our own race, and it's the journey, marked by patience, resilience, and self-discipline, that truly shapes us. They race to overcome themselves. With every step, they don't compare themselves to the runner beside them, nor do they care about judgment. They focus only on their own breath and footsteps. In the end, they not only complete the race, but experience the profound meaning of commitment, truth in action, and dignity in will, facing challenges head-on. To focus on your own path, you must have the courage to face challenges head-on. Life is filled with obstacles, from judgment and failure to temptations that make you want to give up. But here's what you must remember. Each difficulty is a lesson, an opportunity to build your own legacy. Imagine climbing a high mountain. Each painstaking step, every scratch on your hands, gives you inner strength and brings you closer to the summit. The impediment to action advances action. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. When you respect your personal journey, you don't just build self-confidence. You free yourself from the pressure of competing with others. This doesn't mean isolating yourself, but understanding that you are on your own path, where the speed and direction are decided by you. Instead of seeking recognition from others, we should ask ourselves, am I living in accordance with my values? Life is a series of priorities, and when you focus on your own values and goals, you no longer get caught in the whirlwind of comparison or external expectations. A gardener's journey, focus on what matters. Here's a small story to illustrate this. A gardener spends his entire life tending to his garden. He doesn't pay attention to the gossip about his work or seek external validation. He focuses only on the tree he is nurturing. After many years, the tree blooms and bears fruit, and people begin to admire his work. But for the gardener, the true meaning lies not in the admiration of others, but in the daily journey of caring for the tree. your unique path, patience and persistence. Your journey is unique, and there will be times when you feel tired, doubt your path, or even want to stop. But remember, each step, no matter how small, matters. Patience not only helps you overcome challenges, but also serves as proof of your inner strength. Be patient on your journey. Don't waste time on things beyond your control. Trust that every right choice you make today will lead you to a fuller and more meaningful life. As we come to the end of this transformative journey towards self-mastery, let us pause and reflect on the powerful lessons we've learned about focusing on ourselves. Life often pulls us in many directions, and the pressures to meet external expectations can easily derail us from our true path. However, through the practices of setting clear boundaries, rejecting distractions, embracing progress over perfection, and most importantly, valuing our time, we are no longer just existing, we are truly living with purpose. Time is finite and irreplaceable, and how we choose to spend it defines the trajectory of our lives. When we prioritize what truly matters, whether it's personal growth, relationships, health, or our core values, we lay the foundation for a life of fulfillment. The distractions of the modern world are constant, but by treating our time as a precious resource, we set ourselves free from the chains of comparison, expectations, and external judgment. We take back our power, choosing to direct our energy where it will yield the greatest returns for our lives. The journey of self-focus is not an easy one. There will be moments of doubt, times when the path ahead seems uncertain, and challenges that test your resolve. But remember, these challenges are not roadblocks. They are opportunities. Each obstacle you face is a lesson, a chance to build resilience, strength, and wisdom. When we focus on progress rather than perfection, we are no longer bogged down by the idea of failure. Instead, we see setbacks as stepping stones, each one pushing us closer to our true potential. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. These words remind us that what we perceive as obstacles are often the very things that help us grow. Building the life you truly want requires patience. Progress is not always linear, and growth doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, a step-by-step journey that requires commitment and persistence. Each small action, each decision, and every moment spent in alignment with your values and aspirations builds the foundation for a future you will be proud of. Even when the path feels long, remember that the power lies in your ability to persist, to keep going even when it feels difficult, because every step forward is a victory in itself. Let's not forget the power of feedback and self-awareness. By embracing constructive feedback, we refine our skills and better understand where we need to improve. We allow ourselves to be vulnerable in the pursuit of growth, understanding that mistakes are not failures, but vital lessons that shape our character and success. The willingness to learn and adapt, along with the resilience to keep moving forward, that is the ultimate formula for personal mastery. True fulfillment comes not from the destination, but from the journey. It's easy to get caught up in the chase for external validation, the desire to measure up to others, but the real meaning lies in the everyday choices you make that align with who you are and who you're becoming. It's about nurturing your inner growth and living authentically, not for the approval of others, but for the joy of becoming the best version of yourself. As you continue on this journey, remember that every moment is an opportunity to redirect your focus, realign with your values, and make progress toward your goals. It's not about reaching a destination. It's about the ongoing process of growth, learning, and living with purpose. Keep your focus on what truly matters, and know that the small steps you take today are building the life you will enjoy tomorrow. In the end, it's not about being perfect. It's about being present, being patient with yourself, and recognizing that each day is an opportunity to make meaningful progress. Embrace your unique journey with confidence, for it is through patience, persistence, and self-focus that you will create a life filled with purpose, fulfillment, and the joy of knowing you are exactly where you need to be. Keep moving forward with courage and trust the process. Your best self is waiting to emerge.